India is in the crux of a very large growth, and we see the Indian economy obviously going up. We should be a 5 trillion economy. I don't put the date because that I leave it to the pundits to calculate the right time when we reach that. But I think the overall growth in this country is humongous, and I think one of the sectors that is definitely going to get big benefit out of that is the apparel industry. And especially I think brands in India are definitely growing faster. It's so many new brands, so many new categories, and I think almost all corporate houses getting into the apparel business is good for the industry overall, and I think also good for manufacturers. A lot of them are here. But I think the larger part of what I think in the next few years is going to be about speed, and I think how the industry is going to cope with speed, keeping in sense about the larger objective, which is about how sustainable we are as an industry. And I think that's going to be very important. While we produce, we also need to become responsible. While we consume, we also need to become responsible. And I think these will be the two big parts of how industry will have to look at it, introspect. And the other thing I was speaking to Lalitji is also India still is a very minuscule part of the global sourcing hub, and I think that in the next few years will change. I think with the government incentive of Make in India and exports, and I think a lot Lalitji is also doing here that I heard. I think this industry is definitely going to grow, especially on high-end products like, and I think that is where we are missing a lot. We still do a lot more value. The kind of volume we generate, we are not able to generate the value, and I think that is where the industry will have to also look at. How do we start to make higher quality products and just not be the bottom of the pyramid? Because I think we are currently trying to serve the bottom of the pyramid, and I think that's a very large challenge. That will mean investments by factories, that will mean investment into talent. The industry will have to come together to actually figure out that. And also support from government will be required from subsidy perspective for such large capital investment that India needs to do. And I think the good part is we are in India, where the entrepreneurial journey and the entrepreneurial spirit is so large. And I'm sure they will also find ways and means to up the ante in terms of the quality of products. I'll give you, we are an international brand, we source globally. For us, India is now the fourth sourcing hub. It is now not even third. Actually, third has become Pakistan. Right? So I think that's where the whole challenge is going to be, because we have the infrastructure, we have the talent, we have the money power also in a way. I would say we are obviously much better than Bangladesh and Pakistan in terms of the economy and the money availability, but we are now the fourth in terms of sourcing for a company like as big as us. So I think that's where I think a lot of introspection needs to be done to the industry perspective of how to build. And I think the government initiatives are brilliant, but I think this requires investments. And this investments have to be figured by the government, by the entrepreneurs, and also by the industry. We also need to invest back. We also need to work with our suppliers. Like I can give you one example about Bestseller. Whoever we work with, they are almost about 70 to 80% of their production capacity is with us. Because we work with partnership. We all need to grow together. And I think that's the job of the industry, the brands, and the corporates that are working here. But I believe we are at the right juncture, which will see growth. And I don't think the next 10 years is a stretch. So I think a lot of investment should be made from that perspective in the industry. But let's also keep in mind that the world is going to become much more sustainable. And I think that's something which needs to be kept in mind while deciding how we put our factories. So I think together we can create a lot of magic in which the industry can get help and industry can grow. And as a European company, we are very happy to support factories that are highly compliant, that looks as sustainable as an agenda, sustainability as an agenda, and more than happy to collaborate and work together. Good luck. Thank you so much, Deepti, for having me here.